Have you ever wondered what it feels like to face an impossible challenge, where the odds are overwhelmingly stacked against you? Today, we journey back in time to the year 624 to a dusty valley between Mecca and Medina, where one of history's most defining battles was about to unfold. This is the story of the Battle of Badr, a conflict that wasn't just about strategy and swords, but about the sheer power of unwavering faith. Imagine this: a small, fledgling community of Muslims, just recently having migrated from Mecca to Medina to escape persecution. They were not a military force. They were merchants, farmers, and artisans. Yet, circumstances led them to a confrontation they couldn't avoid. On one side, a group of just 313 Muslims. Think about that number. It's smaller than the student body of most high schools. They were poorly equipped, with only 2 horses and about 70 camels among them. Many didn't even have proper armor, carrying only simple swords or bows. Their resources were scarce, but their spirits were rich with something far more powerful: a deep and unshakable belief in God. Facing them was a formidable army from the powerful Quraysh tribe of a force of 1,000 seasoned warriors, clad in armor, riding hundreds of horses and camels. They were well-fed, well-armed, and brimming with confidence. From a purely military perspective, this was a complete mismatch. It looked less like a battle and more like a foregone conclusion. The Quraysh leaders boasted, certain that they would crush this small band of believers and put an end to the new faith once and for all. For them, it was about protecting their trade routes, their power, and their ancestral traditions. As the two forces gathered, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spent the night in heartfelt prayer. He knew the material disadvantage his people faced. He raised his hands to the heavens, supplicating with an intensity that moved his closest companions. He wasn't praying for an easy victory, but for divine support, for the fulfillment of God's promise. This moment of profound humility and reliance on a higher power is central to the entire event. It set the tone for what was to come. It was a reminder that true strength isn't always visible to the eye. The morning of the battle arrived, on the 17th of Ramadan. The desert air was thick with tension. The battle began, as was the custom, with duels between the champions of each army. The Muslim champions, despite being from a less prestigious lineage in the eyes of the Quraysh, stepped forward with courage. Ali ibn Abi Talib, Hamza ibn Abd al-Muttalib, 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 and Ubaidah ibn al-Harith, Ali ibn al-Harith, faced off against the Quraysh's finest. Against expectations, the Muslim champions were victorious, delivering a significant psychological blow to the larger army right from the start. This initial success sent a ripple of hope through the Muslim ranks and a seed of doubt among the Quraysh. As the general fighting commenced, the small Muslim army fought with a discipline and valor that stunned their opponents. They weren't fighting for spoils or for glory. They were fighting for their faith, for their right to exist, and for a future where they could worship freely. They stood firm, a cohesive unit bonded by a shared purpose that transcended their individual fears. Every man knew what was at stake. It was a pivotal moment for their entire community. And then, something miraculous happened. The Quran describes this moment, telling us that God sent down angels to support the believers. Led by the Archangel Gabriel, these unseen forces descended upon the battlefield. The Muslims felt their spirits lifted, their courage fortified. The Quraysh, on the other hand, felt a sense of dread and confusion. Their numerical superiority began to mean less and less as the battle raged on. Reports from that day speak of the enemy seeing the Muslim ranks as appearing far larger than they actually were, a divine illusion that sowed panic among them. Think about this sheer impact of that. You're a soldier in a massive army, confident in your strength, and suddenly, the small group you expected to overwhelm is fighting with supernatural vigor. Your comrades are falling, your lines are breaking, and an inexplicable fear grips your heart. This wasn't just a physical battle anymore. It had become a spiritual one. The very elements seemed to be on the side of the believers. A sudden sandstorm, for instance, blew into the faces of the Quraysh, blinding them and disrupting their formations. while leaving the Muslims relatively unaffected. Against all odds, the tide of the battle turned decisively. The mighty Quraysh army, so confident just hours before, broke and fled. The victory for the Muslims was absolute and astonishing. While the Muslims suffered minimal losses, the Quraysh lost many of their most prominent leaders and warriors. This wasn't just a military victory. It was a divine validation. It was a sign from God that He was with them. The news of this incredible outcome spread like wildfire across the Arabian Peninsula. The Battle of Badr changed everything. It established the Muslims as a force to be reckoned with, not because of their military might, but because of their spiritual resolve. It solidified the leadership of the Prophet Muhammad and united the community in Medina like never before. The victory gave them the confidence and the standing they needed to survive and eventually thrive. It proved to them and to the world that numbers, weapons, and wealth are not the ultimate measures of strength. True power lies in faith, unity, and conviction in a righteous cause. The legacy of Badr is not just a historical account of a battle won. It's a timeless lesson about hope in the face of despair. It teaches us that when you stand for what is right, with sincere belief and dedication, you can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It's a story that has inspired millions for over 14 centuries, reminding us that even a small group with a powerful purpose can change the course of history. It's a testament to the idea that, with faith, the impossible can become possible. So, the next time you feel like you're facing your own battle of Badr, remember this story. Remember the 313 who stood against 1,000, armed with little more than their belief. Their victory echoes through time, a powerful reminder that true strength comes from within, from a connection to something greater than ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the past. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content that explores the powerful moments that have shaped our world. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss an update. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep believing.